Alrighty, guys. Good morning to you all. Happy Monday, February 10th, 2025. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. We got a lot of weather to go over. Significant severe weather outbreak expected later on this weekend. Multiple winter storms with ice and snow accumulations. We got a lot, guys. A lot going on in the weather world. We could be looking at a tornado outbreak as we go towards Saturday of this week, possibly a couple severe weather events this week, as well as multiple snow events. At least two, if not three, winter storms before this week is said and done and over with. So I'm going to try and get all this knocked out in a quick video here for you guys. We will have a live stream on TikTok as always later on this afternoon and tonight. There'll be two today, as we always do. We might even be in live coverage mode later on tonight if winter weather does in fact pick up. I also will be receiving some snow this evening here in Western Kentucky as well. So we'll go ahead and dive into this for you guys. And what you guys can see on your screen is our water vapor satellite imagery here. We've got winter storm watches, winter weather advisories, winter storm watches, advisories, and warnings over here in the Ohio Valley. This is going to be for our second system on Tuesday night and Wednesday, and this is going to be for our first system in the Ohio Valley that comes through tonight, through tomorrow, and into Wednesday morning. We do have winter weather advisories as well in Arkansas for some type of ice accumulation later on tonight. But you can see our stream of moisture. We've got our zonal flow in place in the upper levels of the atmosphere. Surface levels are bringing in our moisture out of the West Pacific here. We typically get this southwesterly flow that does help enhance winter weather when you have cold air that basically comes down out of Canada. So then we're basically seeing those clashes of air masses down there as well. There could be some general thunderstorms down here in Texas and Louisiana over the next 2 days before we start to get that severe weather pattern ongoing over the next couple of days as well. But I'm going to give you guys a timeline on what we're going to see here and kind of where we're going to see these impacts at. I do want to go ahead and start out with our HER model run here and kind of talk about what our winter weather could basically look like over the next couple of hours here. And we'll start out with portions of the Ohio Valley here. This is going to be our first event, and then I'll go to the long range models and talk about our northern event up there into the Midwest and Ozarks and into portions of the Central Plains. As we go through this afternoon, going to be a pretty quiet day if you have last minute preparations for this winter storm, especially here in Kentucky. We are expecting a pretty good swath of heavy snowfall from basically along the Ohio River. So east of Owensboro, Evansville, Kentucky here into Indiana, and then east into Louisville. We could see anywhere from 4 to potentially 8 inches of snowfall here, and then we get up here into portions of West Virginia and into Virginia where we could see higher than 8 to 10 inches of snowfall for some people there. Winter weather advisories now outside of Cincinnati for about 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches of snow on the higher end. I would not be surprised if somebody does see 6 to 8 inches plus of snow in northeastern Kentucky due to there being a heavy banding potential that could set up. That's basically when you get those accumulation snowfall events of 1 to 2 inches an hour. So this is basically going to come in later on tonight. We do expect this to bring a rain changeover. Most of Tennessee, Arkansas, down into Missouri, and into southern Kentucky is going to be mostly in the form of rain here. And then we start to see that sleet changeover here into as we get closer to midnight around maybe Missouri there, the southern Illinois, Indiana area, western Kentucky there. And then we go to this all snow event. And this is going to be a really interesting scenario to see happen out because some of the temperatures over here in Kentucky aren't going to be around 32, 33, 34 degrees. So we're going to have to wait to see those temperatures at the surface are going to be. But I do think there will be some higher accumulation totals. You can see those white colors popping up there, basically signaling higher snowfall rates. This will be early tomorrow morning. So if you have plans tomorrow, schools will probably be canceled across majority of northern and western and northeastern Kentucky through the heavy banding that we'll be setting up. There could be some sleet that mixes in with this as well through the early morning hours. This really does start, guys, after midnight tonight, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then goes all day long tomorrow, at least in through the afternoon hours, or at least the morning and the afternoon hours before potentially changing over to rain. We do see that rain changeover as temperatures do warm up just slightly above 32 degrees. Then we will see that rain changeover as we go into portions of northern Kentucky, and then this will kind of help with that melting process. Could see some heavier snowfall later on tomorrow night into portions of Cincinnati, Ohio there, and then we get our big winter storm cranking out here over the Appalachian Mountains here into portions of not Indiana, but into portions of West Virginia and Virginia before changing over to that rain mix. So we're going to have to really see what happens. We do have that second winter storm that kicks in over here into portions of Wisconsin, into portions of Iowa here. We've got some some lower end totals that could be in far extreme southern Wisconsin, getting into Kansas, into Missouri here. We've got some ice falling into portions of western Oklahoma here and into southern Kansas. So this is going to be a pretty big mess, guys. As really the next 48 to 72 hours go, we'll see some more rain that does in fact pick up down here into the deep south where we'll have some type of severe weather threat as well. But I just wanted to give you guys an idea. We're going to talk more in depth on these snowfall totals as we go through the next couple of days here. We'll be live streaming. Like I said, we'll be talking about this in depth depth. So this is just kind of a prelim to kind of talk about what we're going to see here over the next couple of days. And I do want to show those snowfall totals here, what we could see over the next 48 hours here. You can see anywhere along the Ohio River here, seeing that 1 to 3 inch total. Wouldn't be surprised for 4 to 8 inches somewhere in this corridor here from east of Lexington and west of Lexington, Kentucky, and then back up here into portions of Virginia and West Virginia along those higher Appalachian mountains there. We could easily see potentially up to 8 to 12 inches of snowfall. More local areas will see 4 to 8 with a higher chance of 8 to 12 inches in those higher elevation areas. Back over here into portions of Kansas, Nebraska, portions of southern Wisconsin, Minnesota here, Nebraska, we could see a pretty big heavy swath of snow developing. This is just for the first part of the storm through tomorrow and into Wednesday and Thursday, but easily picking up maybe even up to a half of a foot to a foot of snowfall for some people there in northwestern Kansas and into southern Nebraska. So we're going to have to watch for isolated higher totals. This will start to move into portions of eastern Kansas, into Missouri, and into Iowa as we go into tomorrow night and into Wednesday. We'll pick up 4 to 8 inches of snow from Wichita potentially into Kansas there. So that's just to kind of give you guys an idea on what we could see here going forward over the next 48 hours. I do want to talk to you guys as well about our severe weather threat. Are we going to have a severe weather outbreak this week? The models are definitely suggesting that. I do want to start out with today. We do have a general thunderstorm risk on Monday for today. Not expecting any severe weather there. We are expecting no severe weather as of now tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center actually could issue a marginal risk maybe down here into Texas and Louisiana for some hail, maybe some wind. They've kind of talked about moving that around, so I wouldn't be surprised if that gets issued. Then we get to Wednesday, and we will be going live for Wednesday's event. This is a 2% tornado risk somewhere in here. They got a wind and a hail threat as well in here more than likely. This will be a marginal risk. I wouldn't be surprised if we got an upgraded slight risk along the southeast portions of Louisiana and far southwestern Mississippi with an upgrade there, potentially with some instability moving in a little bit higher, models showing some higher instability values. We'll have some shearing effect as well that could also kind of upgrade this. We'll just kind of see what the models do as far as that goes. But then we get to our day 4 through 8 outlook. Nothing on day 4, nothing on day 5. It's when we get to day 6, guys. We've already got a level 2 slight risk for portions of Louisiana, all of Mississippi, all of Alabama, almost southwestern and southeastern extreme portions of Tennessee and western Georgia there. This would be our biggest severe weather zone so far this year as far as coverage goes. And some of these models, guys, are actually showing a significant severe weather outbreak, possibly a tornado outbreak or wind damage event. We're still kind of in the unknown. We're 6 days out from this. But this is something you need to be very, very mindful of if you live down in the deep south and Dixie Alleys. We go through Saturday. We've talked about these events and what could be coming with these events as we get closer to spring happening. And this is just something on that radar that we're going to have to really, really watch. And the CSU AI learning models, look at this, guys, already have a moderate risk wanting to spit out here for our day 6. Now, we're going to have to watch what the Storm Prediction Center does, but the CSU learning models I like to go off a lot of. They do really, really good with showing sneaky risk zones or just in general risk zones for severe weather. And they are going very, very hard with this significant severe weather outbreak that we could see on Saturday. So we'll continue to update you guys on this. Not something we want to see this early in the season, but definitely could start that spring severe weather time going on here and start to turn those tables as things get going here. Another thing I do want to talk to you guys about is going to be our outlook for the next couple of days and what we're going to be seeing with this. Like I said, multiple winter storms. You can see the first one moving through the Ohio Valley tonight through tomorrow and into tomorrow afternoon, and then we'll have rain and general thunderstorms back into Texas, Arkansas, and then our second storm comes in tomorrow morning. We start to see snow falling into portions of Kansas, Nebraska, Missouri there. We're going to pick up on some really good snowfall totals if you live there in the Central Plains and into the Midwest there. We'll start to see that rain continue to stagger out. We'll get to those rainfall totals here in just a minute because I am concerned about the rainfall accumulation totals down in the deep south. We'll start to see that snowfall mix in as it goes northeast into Illinois, into Iowa, into portions of Indiana and portions of Michigan and southern Wisconsin on Wednesday afternoon. Heavy rainfall falling into portions of Tennessee, Kentucky, back down into portions of Mississippi and Alabama with some ice changeover along that freeze 32-degree line from Missouri up into Ohio. Possibly some freezing rain falling into Virginia, West Virginia again, and then this turns into a pretty decent snowstorm. I would say big, but a pretty decent snowstorm for the Northeast as we go into Thursday. We get a little bit of a break on Thursday. The atmosphere kind of re-energizes itself. You can see a very, very strong low-pressure system that's going to basically dip down over here into portions of the Central Plains and off the Rockies here as we go into Friday. Very cold air in place going to allow for another winter storm to develop and severe weather down here into the deep south. You get those temperature inversions. You get those clashes of air mass that you typically get severe weather that does unfold with this. And as we go into Friday there, we see a pretty decent severe weather threat involving from basically southern Kentucky down through Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Louisiana and Georgia, and then snow up into the northeast out of then. And then we get into the realm of unknown as we go into the following week there, with possibly some more winter weather following somewhere in the United States. Now, I do want to show you guys one more thing here. This is going to be our instability values for our severe weather threat. You can start to see instability kind of move in through Texas tomorrow. Wouldn't be surprised if we got a marginal tomorrow, maybe for some wind and some hail down into southeast Texas. And then we start to see a little splotch of instability. This is some pretty decent instability above 1,000 for our Wednesday afternoon. We'll have to see what shear and instability look like as we get toward that with our short range models. But then as we go into Thursday and Friday, things look a little bit quieter with the severe weather threat. And then we get going on Saturday with some pretty robust instability that will have a shot at producing that significant severe weather outbreak, at least as we are seeing right now with our model runs. So if you are down once again in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, down in the Dixie Valley in general, you need to start getting those severe weather preparedness plans. I've been preaching that to you guys a lot since really the beginning of this year. We need to have those plans in place. You need to know where to go if you get a tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warnings, etc., all of that. So make sure you guys do that as we always do. But that's our severe weather threat, at least for the next couple of days. One more thing I actually do want to discuss with you guys is going to be those rainfall totals. We'll go more in depth on the snowfall totals here in just a second as well. Rainfall totals through the next couple of days here. This is really our 7-day outlook. Look at these rainfall totals, guys, through Sunday. Significant heavy rainfall. This could lead to a lot of flash flooding over the next 7 days from Kentucky down through Tennessee into portions of Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. We could easily see 5 to 10 inches of rain fall along that swath where you see that yellow and that dark brownish color. Outside of that, 3 to 5, maybe 5 to 8 inches. We're going to talk about this as well. I think some significant flooding will definitely be a possibility over the next couple of days as we get multiple rounds of winter weather and rain in general and severe weather for a lot of people. And then the big thing I want to show you guys is going to be that snowfall potential here. We'll go to our total snowfall for the week where we could see, well, we're going to update on these totals because they are fluctuating a lot and we're going to have multiple winter storms, but this is just through the next 7 days. Look at the swath of at least 8+ inches of snow in those darker purples and those darker pinks there, the darker reds. And then you got a swath here in the Ohio Valley for our snow event tonight. So we've got a lot of winter weather, guys, to get through over the next couple of days, as well as severe weather down here in Dixie Alley and into the southeast. So make sure y'all stay tuned for more updates. We will have a live stream, like I said, on TikTok this afternoon and tonight. We're going to start doing double updates now that we've got a lot going on. I do appreciate y'all for watching this. Stay safe, be weather aware, and we'll see you guys in the next one.